Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, the new school year also brings a new teaching standard. We'll tell you all about the new Common Core and what it means for our students.
Then the much anticipated new tower at Torrance Memorial gets unveiled, 6 months ahead of schedule.
Plus, one of the largest volunteer efforts takes place at Torrance Beach. We'll take you to this year's coastal cleanup event.
And we'll tell you how the Torrance Fire Department helped this little boy live out one of his biggest dreams.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Julie Chan.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. Governor Jerry Brown signed a package of bills recently in an effort to boost the state's electric car market. From financial incentives and other perks to enticing consumers to buy the environmentally friendly vehicles, one of the measures approved includes placing at least 1 million zero-emission and near-zero-emission vehicles on California roads by 2023. The bill assigns the State Air Resources Board to make sure these vehicles are more affordable to lower-income residents. Governor Brown also signed a measure that will increase the number of plug-in vehicles that can use carpool lanes at all times. Authored by Torrance Assemblyman Al Murtsucci, AB 2013 raises the cap on the green sticker program from 55 to 70,000 cars. Local efforts are also taking effect as Torrance council members voted in late August to appropriate grant money for the installation of 14 electric vehicle charging stations around the city. Locations include Wilson, Columbia, and McMaster Parks, downtown Torrance, and Walterior Library. Plans also including replacing the charging station at the Civic Center.
The Los Angeles Register, which debuted just 6 months ago, is calling it quits. Freedom Communications co-owners Aaron Kushner and Eric Spitz sent a memo to employees on their last night of business announcing that the LA Register was closing due to the lack of subscribers. The LA Register and its sister paper in Long Beach were part of Freedom's aggressive efforts to enter the LA market. Kushner and Spitz also wrote a note to their subscribers thanking them for their support. Members can continue their digital subscriptions, including access to all of the Register's news products. Plus, Register Connect, a membership program that awards free tickets to sporting events, concerts, and theaters. Freedom announced they had sold the Santa Ana headquarters for its flagship paper, the Orange County Register, for $27 million to OC developer Michael Hara. The company will now focus on markets in Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties.
Well, the Torrance Roosevelt Association may be breathing a sigh of relief thanks to the City Council. In a recent meeting, dozens of volunteers, board members, and even Tournament of Roses President Richard Shannon came to speak before the council in hopes of the city agreeing to foot the $100,000 bill. And while the council unanimously voted to help, that $100,000 doesn't cover everything. The organization says in addition, they still need $50,000 to build the float and $20,000 to run the program. Float organizers hope one or a few businesses and corporate sponsors in Torrance will step up. This year's float will be designed in honor of the late Louis Zamperini.
The 25th Annual Gallery of Fine Art is in full swing at the South Bay Lexus Service Center. Every year, artists from the Torrance Artists Guild go head-to-head for a chance to be featured at the art show. The Guild also invites other local artists to compete for several prizes. The highest honor, Best of Show, gets a $300 cash prize. This year, Winnie Shepherdson won for her piece titled A Day in Her Life. The exhibit features more than 200 works of art by local artists.
I'm really very proud of this show. It represents a lot of the work of an awful lot of people, and I'm proud of every one of those people who contributed. And the artists that came in that weren't even in tag came in with excellent art. So we have a show that has a lot of variety, it shows a lot of skill, and a dedication to people's craft.
The artwork on display is available for purchase, and this year 25% of the sales will benefit the Schweitzer Learning Center. The exhibit runs through November 7th.
Now, this is something you don't see often. It's called Cardboard Box City, a one-night event hosted by Family Promise of South Bay to raise awareness about homelessness. More than 100 people constructed makeshift homes out of cardboard boxes and duct tape and even slept outside for the night to help raise funds for the project. Last year, the event raised $13,000, and this year, Cardboard Box City raised $20,000. Family Promise is a national organization with the mission to help homeless and low-income families find a stable home and work.
Me and my wife, my son and my daughter, we live in the van. This is where we eat, this is where we sleep. Sometimes we go to the bathroom with bottles, but this is all we have after everything we've been through.
Volunteers from across the U.S., including Torrance, provide families with temporary housing and support like hot meals and job training while they work to get back on their feet.
A former CitiCABLE employee and local radio personality came together to help raise awareness and funds to find a cure for Lou Gehrig's disease. Andre Russell from KJLH Radio was the master of ceremony at the recent ALS fundraiser held at the Toyota Automotive Museum in Torrance. ALS, commonly referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease, affects the spinal cord and weakens the muscles. The disorder results in difficulty speaking, swallowing, and even breathing. And sadly, there is no cure. The event worked to raise money to fight the disease by holding a raffle and silent auction. One of the items on the auction block was a signed Nick Young Lakers jersey. This event was hosted by Renard Ricks, a former CitiCABLE employee who was diagnosed with ALS just 3 years ago. The event raised just under $2,000. Now, if you missed this event and would like to contribute, go to web.alsa.org/go-to/RenardRicks. Well, still ahead, in case you missed it, the big race. We'll take you to Torrance Beach for all the action.
Plus, Torrance Unified is ready to embrace the new Common Core standards. We'll tell you what it's all about and what this new way of learning will mean for your kids.
Need to dispose of used motor oil and filters? With nearly 30 locations in Torrance, it's easy to dispose of them safely and legally. Finding the location nearest to you is as easy as turning on your computer. Just log on to recycletorrance.org. When it's time to dispose of expired prescription medicines, don't put them down the sink or toilet, in the trash, or in a storm drain. Take them to a household hazardous waste collection site or a LA County Sheriff's Station. Find them at recycletorrance.org.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults, and one person dies from melanoma every hour. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Runners, walkers, and spectators came out to Torrance Beach for the kickoff of an old event brought back to Torrance. Here's Sports Desk reporter Colin Kushner to tell us more.
3, 2, 1, and we are
The 2014 Herbalife LA Triathlon came to the city of Torrance for the first time in 3 decades. This year, Herbalife and Pacific Sports decided on a new multi-loop format that is very similar to the ones used in the Olympics.
Robert Chen looking good.
It's the first time the LA Triathlon has used this new course footprint, which was used in the London Olympic Games and will be used in Rio in 2016.
I'm lucky enough to be on the board for the Los Angeles Sports Council and for the Southern California Committee for the Olympic Games for the 2024 bid. And triathlon is an Olympic sport, and we were looking for a venue that might make sense for an Olympic course. An Olympic course has to be a multi-loop format, spectator friendly, which this certainly was, and really to show an iconic picture of Southern California.
Switching the course location and layout for this year's triathlon essentially served as a test, as the new race location in Torrance may also be used for the city of Los Angeles in their bid to bring the Olympics to the LA area.
I think it worked out really well, but I think there's some things that we'd probably look at doing afterwards after we kind of regroup. But essentially, I think it passed the test. I mean, it's a beautiful venue, and I think it says everything we want to say about the sport of triathlon, and you know, it's just a great crowd.
People of all different ages and experience levels completed the course, but really seemed to enjoy the new location and race format.
It was tough, a lot of hills, you know, and it wasn't loops, but you know, it makes it a little more exciting because you get pumped as each time you do it. You actually try to do it faster, even though you're tired. So it was interesting.
With LA being one of 4 potential American bid cities for the 2024 Olympics, this year's triathlon was a good start to making that become a reality.
This is very exciting for the city of Torrance. It shows all the amenities that we have at Torrance Beach and throughout the whole city. This is a great area of the city, and it's great to spotlight it. Let the whole world see what we have here.
Reporting for Torrance City Cable, I'm Colin Kushner.
Thanks, Colin. And on a heartfelt note, one South Bay couple will someday tell their grandchildren about this year's triathlon. Melanie Dare of El Segundo crossed the finish line of the 3.2-mile race with her boyfriend Jake Mark ready to congratulate her. After a quick hug, Jake got down on one knee in front of hundreds. And just in case you're curious, it wasn't a spur-of-the-moment proposal. Jake had the PA announcer and a group of close friends in on the surprise. Even an airplane flying by with a banner, "Will you marry me?"
Well, the much-anticipated unveiling of Torrance Memorial's newest tower came nearly 6 months ahead of schedule. Crystal Garcia was there for all the excitement.
3.5 years since breaking ground, the Lundquist Tower at Torrance Memorial Medical Center is ready to open to the community.
It's official. Thank you, everybody.
The 7-story state-of-the-art facility was brought to life by extensive planning, work, and generous donations. The biggest donation came from Melanie and Richard Lundquist.
There's nothing that is more joyful than giving the money away and knowing the benefit it will have for society.
Those benefits range from the hospital's new advanced technology to more features, making the hospital's environment more comfortable.
The ribbon cutting and dedication celebration of the Lundquist Tower allowed for community members to get a peek at the brand new facility opening up November 16.
Community members joined Torrance Memorial staff, city leaders, and regional politicians to welcome the new tower into the South Bay community.
The new Lundquist Tower is a cutting-edge addition that really addresses the changing healthcare.
The Lundquists were not only recognized for their contribution, but for also inspiring others to see the remarkable value of the new tower.
It was very easy for Melanie and myself to get behind it.
A support that the Lundquists attribute to one man.
They want to dedicate the tower to their friend, our longtime friend, the head of radiology here for almost 40 years, passed away a couple of years ago and made such an impression, impact on this hospital, and the tower is dedicated to Dr. Richard Hoffman.
I am so proud and so thrilled. My husband would consider it a dream come true.
The Lundquists hope that the historical celebration will inspire others to continue supporting Torrance Memorial Medical Center. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Crystal Garcia.
Thanks, Crystal. Next on the schedule for the hospital tower is a run-through of their services with hospital employees before they allow patients in later in November.
Promoting local businesses and bringing dollars back to the local economy is what they do best. And the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce held one of their most widely attended events. Amy Polby-Boone went to see what the buzz was all about.
We actually showcase all of the different businesses that are members of the Torrance Chamber of Commerce. So the event is open not only to the business owners of Torrance, but our residents as well.
This free event has been going on for over 18 years. It's no wonder that more and more businesses sign up for a booth year after year.
We sell out every year, and I think that a lot of them, like I said, really enjoy being here. They find benefit, and a lot of them really feel that economically it helps them.
About 90 vendors and hundreds of attendees came to this 3-hour event to showcase their business products and services.
A lot of our businesses are telling us that it is really good to use social media, but there's nothing better than the face-to-face.
And sometimes you may just find yourself crossing paths into a new adventure.
You know, I was born and raised in Philippines, so I saw Kiwanis when I was in elementary. And then after that, I did not see that K logo until in, Business Expo at the Marriott 5 years ago. Yeah, so and then, I decided to be involved.
A lot of businesses like myself come out to see the other businesses, what they're doing, and I use a lot of these people's services.
Scotto says it's a few hours well spent. So if you happen to miss out on this year's event, make sure and mark your calendar for next year.
The Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce begins outreaching to businesses about 2 months in advance, so usually the first part of August.
Reporting for City Cable, I'm Amy Polby-Boone.
Thanks, Amy. This is an annual event hosted by the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, and they have many more events coming up. You can check out their calendar online at torrancechamber.com.
Torrance Beach was home to one of the largest volunteer efforts statewide. Hilda Bay, in partnership with the California Coastal Commission, coordinated the Coastal Cleanup Day at Miramar Park. Amy Polpey-Boone tells us more.
Torrance Beach is considered one of the cleanest beaches in Southern California, at least according to Hilda Bay, organizers of this annual cleanup effort.
It's my second year Coastal Cleanup Day. Last year I was up Santa Monica. I wanted to come out and check out the beautiful South Bay and see the people down here being taken care of their beach for the last 25 years.
Torrance Beach scores an A+ on the beach report card, which grades its health and bacterial counts. This event geared towards promoting clean beaches, which brought about 600 volunteers over a 3-hour period. Adults and kids alike collected 161 pounds of garbage and recyclable trash.
The cleanups are really about two things. It's one about bringing communities together to have some fun out on the beach and give them a way of giving back. It's also letting people know about how they can take care of the beach every day. This is not something you do just once a year. It's something you do every day in your daily life.
It seems like Hartley is not the only one that feels this way.
This is my 7th year, and the first time as a mayor, but I did it as a council member, and it's just a fun event. You're actually doing something good for the community, doing something good for the environment, and getting to see all the volunteers that are out here. It's really gratifying.
According to Ocean Conservancy, volunteers last year collected over 42,000 forks, knives, and spoons, which is enough to feed dinner for every student at UCLA.
The last few years they found a wedding dress, they found an old wallet.
We do a pretty good job here, but I know I found like, some like degraded plastic or, some cigarette butts.
I was surprised at finding a lot of alcohol bottles along the beach.
So it's really just being about conscious about waste and not using the Pacific Ocean here at my backdrop as a big dumping ground.
And it's events like this that helps keep this tight-knit community safe and healthy. In Torrance for CitiCABLE, I'm Amy Polpey-Boone.
Thanks, Amy. This year, more than 54,000 volunteers helped clean up California beaches and picked up more than 570,000 pounds of trash, along with an additional 109,000 pounds of recyclable materials, totaling about 343 tons of waste collected. From elementary school to high school, new state and national education standards are changing the way our young people learn. Crystal Garcia explores these new standards throughout the grade levels, and she started by visiting a local elementary school.
Mrs. Witten and her class of 3rd graders at Fern Elementary joined classrooms across the country in the transition from previous education standards to Common Core standards.
With Common Core, we are balancing conceptual understanding with procedures and fluency.
Adopted in 2010, the state mandated all schools to fully implement the new standards beginning the 2014-2015 school year. Standards that describe what students should know and be able to do in each subject in each grade.
It's exactly what we needed to do for our kids to create depth and rigor and high and clear expectations for student achievement and growth, and to look ahead.
From using tools to help aid in conceptual understanding of solving math problems to reading and writing about social studies and science subjects, the new Common Core standards give students the better foundation for their future.
And the way students are already responding to the new teaching methods have educators optimistic.
If these kids really understand the value of digits and they really understand place value, then they can apply that understanding to later on fractions, to later on algebra, to later on they'll be able to see themselves as mathematicians.
The lessons learned in each grade serve as stepping stones through school to ensure students are ready for the next level of learning.
Math is much more fun.
Learning is the most fun thing in school.
All across the curriculum, lessons are designed to help students develop confidence in their education by working with their peers and challenging themselves to test their own intellect and explain their thought process. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Crystal Garcia.
Thanks, Crystal. If you're a parent and have any other questions about the kind of lessons your child is getting, go to the California Department of Education website at cde.ca.gov. And to see how education lessons in high schools have changed, be sure to catch the second part of Crystal's exploration in the new Common Core standards.
High school students living in Torrance have a great resource available to them, and it's called The Attic. They recently held an open house to show students all that they have to offer. Here's Amy Polpe-Boone with more.
The attic has been open for over 14 years, where Torrance High School students have an option to hang out in an environment that is free from drugs, alcohol, and gangs.
When I was in 9th grade, you know, I kind of hang out with the wrong people, and the attic was just a place to help me with that.
For 16-year-old Brian Arias, the attic has been a safe haven, a place he discovered thanks to a friend that's helped him keep him out of trouble.
When I first heard about the attic was 9th grade, and what happened was, you know, I didn't have nowhere to go after wrestling practice. So my friend, Stephanie, she actually, Long Beach High School, she actually told me to come.
Impressed with the outgoing and friendly staff and the resources available to students, Arias knew what he needed and wanted to do.
About the third day, I signed up for a membership because I knew that, you know, this place is going to be a good place.
As a self-described skater, Arias began to change himself into a star athlete, eventually making his way as co-captain of the varsity wrestling team and placing first in the Tournament of Champions. He had many cheerleaders along the way.
Well, Melissa, she taught me about university. When she told me about, you know, well, in wrestling, I was very disciplined to get my GPA to wrestle. So when I came over here, I didn't really have plans for university, but she told me that, you know, you're doing really good.
They are all like my little brothers and sisters, and I think the Teen Center is just very, very special to me. And I learn from the students every day, and I know they learn from me, and they learn from the staff, so I love my job.
Melissa Lynch is one of about a dozen part-time staff members on hand to mentor and to help the nearly 250 teens who come here to not only do their homework, use the computer lab, and to have a safe place to hang out with friends.
Honestly, I think I'd still probably be with the wrong crowd. I mean, this place really helped me, you know, friends and everyone come here and they encourage me.
Arias is set to graduate in 2015 and is looking at a number of colleges to apply to, an idea he never entertained just 3 years ago. And for that, he's forever grateful for the attic. Reporting for CitiCABLE Torrance, I'm Amy Polpe-Boone.
Thanks, Amy. If you happen to miss the open house, you can go online for more information. Go to torranceca.gov.
The new virus affecting children across the country has finally made its way to California, and health officials say precaution is key. 4 children in San Diego and Ventura counties were tested positive for the enterovirus D68. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, D68 was first identified in the early 60s, belonging to a large family of viruses that can cause an estimated 10 to 15 million infections in Americans every year. While generally illnesses from enteroviruses are mild and occur in late summer and fall, it's known to cause cold symptoms such as runny nose, sneezing, and coughing. And in some instances, in children with asthma and other respiratory problems, this strain can cause wheezing and difficulty breathing and require hospitalization. Public health officials are also urging all Californians to take routine precautions to limit the spread of the virus. They encourage frequent hand washing, covering coughs and sneezes, and keeping sick kids home from school or activities. So far, 18 other states had confirmed 153 cases of the viruses. Still ahead, the Torrance Fire Department helps to make this little boy's dreams come true.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Texting and driving has now become the leading cause of teen driver death, surpassing even drinking and driving. But if you think dying in a car crash is the worst thing that can happen to you, it's not. You could survive. After you kill someone else, no text is so important that it's worth your life or someone else's. Leave your cell phone alone when you're driving. If you absolutely must send a text, pull off the road or into a parking lot. Don't text and drive.
It was a big day for one Torrance boy who's been diagnosed with a rare form of terminal cancer. And this week, one of his biggest dreams came true thanks to the help of the men and women over at the Torrance Fire Station number 6. Here's Laura Fong with that story.
Sirens, lights, and a whole lot of laughter. Torrance Fire Station 6 made Joseph McCoy an honorary firefighter for the day.
It's just been incredible to see all this stuff up close, especially for him. And it's kind of like a dream come true almost.
Brendan McCoy says his soon-to-be 3-year-old son has loved fire engines for as long as he can remember, and this trip will be one Joseph never forgets.
My son has been diagnosed with a rare type of cancer.
Joseph has been diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma, a rare type of degenerative muscular cancer. Each year, there are only about 350 new cases of this connective tissue cancer. While the location of where the malignant tumor forms plays a big factor in survival rates, for Joseph, his days are limited as his prognosis is terminal.
High five?
Yeah.
Low five?
Ow! But today was not about doctor's visits, chemotherapy, or cancer. It was all about letting Joseph be an average 2-year-old boy who loves fire trucks.
We're going to make his day a little bit better here.
After Captain Steve Duell heard about Joseph's condition and his passion for big, red, loud fire engines, he extended a special invitation to the McCoy family.
He's really warmed up to the guys and squirted me up the backside with water. He looked at the ladder, went for a ride. I think he's had a really great day.
We just can't thank the guys enough, Torrance Fire Department, for letting us come by and kind of, fulfilling his little dream, a little 3-year-old's dream to sit in a fire truck and even ride in a fire truck.
It's clear from Joseph's big smile, this will be an unforgettable day for the firefighters, for the McCoys, and for Joseph. In Torrance for CitiCABLE, I'm Laura Fong.
Thanks, Laura. A majority of rhabdomyosarcoma patients are children and teens, and the cause of this cancer is unknown, and there are no known risk factors. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And I'm Julie Chan. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.